All right, guys, and then the second type of Punnet Square problem that you need to be able to do is a dihybrid problem. So we're talking about 4 alleles. So we're talking about 2 separate traits. In this case, we're going to talk about hair color, red versus white, and also if it's polled or horned. So 2 separate traits, and we want to predict the probability of how those get passed on. For our quiz on Friday or on Monday, all you need to be able to do is the Punnet Squares. We're going to get rid of the dominance for now, and as long as you can show me you understand how to do a monohybrid and a dihybrid Punnet Square problem, you are good to go. So the first thing we're going to do is just like with the last one, we're going to list our traits first. So we have red is dominant to white. I'm going to use the H again, just like we did with black versus yellow in the last problem. Then we also have polled is dominant to horned. And I'm just going to use a B because a capital and lowercase b is very different. So we're listing those out so we can always go back to that and then remember what those letters represent in our problem. Our next step, just like before, is to figure out the genotypes of the parents. The only difference is going to be that we're going to have 4 letters for each parent instead of 2 letters for each parent. So in this case, it says cross a heterozygous bull for both traits. What does heterozygous mean again? Think about it. Means different, and it's for both traits. So if it's different, I have to have a big H, big B, little b for the bull. And we're going to breed that to a white horned cow. When I look at white, I know it has to be 2 little h's because if the capital or the dominant trait is there, it's going to be red. So I know she's going to have a little h, and she has horns, so I know it's going to be a little b, little b. So there we have our genotypes for both parents that we're going to breed. Remember, for dihybrid problems, there's an extra step. We need to mix these traits up when we actually do the Punnet Square. So I'm going to put the square here, and hopefully I can fit everything in. And then I'm going to mix these up as we go. So remember, you go first to third. So we have big H, big B. And then first to fourth. So big H, little b. I'm going to go second to third, little h, big B. And second to fourth, little h, little b. So we're going to list those up on the side. On the other side, we're going to put the female. They're all little h to little b's. So first to third, first to fourth, second to third, second to fourth. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that quick. And little h, little b. So you can cheat a little bit if you're better at Punnet Square problems. So you know that these are all the same, so you can list it all the way down. So we always do h's first because that's what we started with, and capital letters first. So I'm going to go big H, big B, little b. I'm just going to draw a line because those are all going to be the same. I'm going to do the same thing here, big H, little b, little b. I'm going to draw a line. Little h, big B, little b. And little h, little b, all the way down. So that is our Punnet Square. If it's easier for you, you could fill them all in if you wanted to. Oop, drop my marker. But that's about how it's going to work. Just like any other Punnet Square problem then, we're solving for 2 things, a genotype and a phenotype. And I'm just going to erase a little bit on the bottom here so that hopefully I can fit these in on the bottom. So our genotype, we're just going to list our traits. So we have our big H, big B, little b, and I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Our next one, big H, little b, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And so on. Big B, little b, 1, 2, 3, 4. And our last one is all recessive traits. And there's 4 of those. So we have a ratio of 4 to 4 to 4, or you could reduce that all the way down to 1 to 1 to 1 is our genotype. also saying you have a 4 out of 16 chance for each of those, or a 25% chance of each of these genotypes being expressed. Phenotype is what we can actually see. So we know a big H is red, and a big B is polled, and there's 4 of those. Big H is red, little b is horned. And there's 4 of those. White, polled. So again, the little h represents white, and we have a big B there. So I know it has to be polled. There's 4 of those. And finally, all our recessive traits means it's white, horned. So again, in this problem, our answer is 4 to 4 to 4, or you could reduce that all the way down to 1 to 1 to 1. Or again, we have a 25% chance of having a red polled, 25% of a red horned, 25% of a white polled, 25% of a red horned. So that's how you do a dihybrid problem. Hopefully that helps as a little bit of a review. You will get a monohybrid and dihybrid like this for a quiz on Monday.